Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. So we have another BBC caller who gets cut off for dropping some truth bombs, basically because they have no answer for him. It's a sad state of affairs, is it not? So here we have Vanessa Feltz, who is standing in for Jeremy Vine on BBC Radio 2, and this fella, Adrian, he managed to get on and he brings up the subject of how last year at this time, going by their statistics that the government give out, there was far less people with infection, far less people dying than there is at the moment, and yet supposedly at this moment we are led to believe that 80% of the population has had the jab. So it's far worse now than it was this time last year, and yet all of these people have had the jab now. It's their statistics again. You know, you're using their figures to show how illogical their train of thought is. And this man rings in and talks about this, but notice how Vanessa Feltz just gives up, basically. She tries a little bit to try and get something back, but she just gives up and cuts him off and goes straight to a song because she literally has no answer to what he says.
Come back to me in a couple of days, he said.
Well, I hope they sort you out nice and quickly because it's clear why you would like her to be vaccinated. And I'm assuming that she's keen to be vaccinated herself, is she?
Yes.
All right, well, great. Thank you very much. I hope you get that sorted out. Let me speak to Adrian, who's on the line in Essex. Hello, Adrian.
Hello there.
I know you're a dad of 3 children. You don't want them to be vaccinated, I hear.
No, and my wife and I also haven't had the vaccine. We believe that this vaccination programme, and bear in mind it's a trial vaccination programme, this is a completely different technology to conventional vaccinations. We shouldn't have gone beyond vaccinating the vulnerable. And to quote Professor Gert van Bosch, who's worked in vaccines all his life, he's been saying we shouldn't aim to vaccinate the whole population because what you're doing is pushing the virus to mutate and to spread more rapidly. And we've seen this. We've seen this in the UK and Israel and Iceland. We've got an incredible vaccination programme, and yet the cases are going through the roof. And people say, oh, well, look how much better it is in January. Well, yes, it is. But I invite you and your listeners to compare this summer to last summer. Last summer with no vaccine, this summer with a vaccine. The cases are through the roof. We've got more deaths this summer. Well, why is that? If this vaccination is such a success, why does this summer look so terrible?
But you're not reading all the accounts of the numbers of lives saved by the vaccine, all the people who might have ended up either losing their lives or on ventilators in hospitals, who just had a mild case or have escaped catching it altogether. I mean, the evidence of the number of people who've escaped death because of the vaccine grows and grows, doesn't it, every day? And also we see that the people in hospital who are very, very ill, those on ventilators, primarily are those, aren't they, who haven't been double vaccinated rather than those who have. Isn't that pretty much what you need to know?
Well, why wasn't that happening last summer with no vaccine then? Why didn't we have a summer of high deaths and hospitalisations?
Well, obviously you're entitled to your point of view and it's interesting to hear from you. Thanks so much for getting in touch.